Hey, we are back and we're going to be working with some spreadsheets. So we're going to do Google Sheets integration with ChatGPT in our own customized way here. So we're going to have ChatGPT essentially create um, some formulas and things like that that'll take your spreadsheeting from like 0 to 60. So let's see if this works. We're going to do this on the fly. So we're going to start out. We're going to use GPT-01 because it's a little more analytical, and let's see how it does in this circumstance. So we're going to start out with prompting. And I've talked a lot about prompt engineering and how you really want to make sure it's how you ask the questions. Asking the question the right way is going to really be a strong determinant in what kind of answer you get. So, hey, I'd like you to create a CSV file that contains sham data based on the following criteria. Okay. And that criteria is going to be, let's come up with something here. So I'd like there to be 20 entries, one per row, starting with row number 2. And let's just put this let's like list it out with like real numbers and stuff. So, and inevitably I'm going to probably hit the enter key, which is going to completely send this thing into a spiral. But because if you hit the enter key, the prompt chute goes through the chute. Um, and then we're going to also talk about what the entries are, the characteristics of the entries. So there's going to be 20 entries, one per row, starting with row number 2. And then each entry should have the following attributes that are assigned to columns, starting with the column A. Starting with column A, and then I was using voice typing, so it put the colon like that. Starting with column A, we're going to have first name, last name, U.S. hometown, favorite color, favorite day of the week. Okay, that's the sham data that we wanted to create. And then I wanted to create 2 specific kinds of outputs. So I wanted to create the CSV file that we talked about, but also, so there are 2 specific output types that I need. Just for the sake of making this as clear as we can, let's call this 1A. Provide a CSV, we'll say a .csv file that I can download to my computer, and actually it should be 3B. Provide a version of the spreadsheet that I can copy and paste directly from the chat dialog here and paste it into a Google Sheet. So I want to be able to just copy paste something from here, but also a downloadable file. So we'll see if it does. Let's just see how it does with that. That's gonna be our first prompt, and then we're gonna use that to populate our table, and then we'll do some formulas with that. So it's gonna think for a little bit. It's probably gonna take, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds for it to do this. It's preparing the data, crafting the solutions, ensuring seamless integration. This is always kind of a little bit goofy, but it's fun to see sort of like behind the scenes a little bit. Okay, now here's the meat of it. Okay, below are two versions of the same 20 entry data set. The first version is provided as a CSV file you can download. The second version can be copied and pasted directly into a Google Sheet. Sometimes it just says that and it doesn't actually do it because it knows what it was supposed to do. Let's just see if it did it. CSV file for download. Copy the text below into a file named sham data CSV or any other file you prefer with the .csv extension. This will give you a downloadable. I don't think it actually did that right. Well, that was worth a try. But let's go with this. Looks actually, copy and paste in a Google Sheet. Kind of looks like it's did the same thing, and if we wanted to, we could like get fussy with it and have it try to do that again. But let's just copy this and let's take it over to our spreadsheet and see what the heck happens if we do a paste function here. Let's just paste the values, and then let's go here and let's split the text into columns, and then let's blow this up so we can kind of see what we got. Okay, I'll be darned. It looks pretty good, right? So we've got first name, last name, hometown, favorite color, a favorite day of the week. Awesome. And there's some repeats here. That's good because the formulas we're gonna use later require some repeats. But Cool. This looks pretty tight. So here's some sham data, made up names, hometowns, colors, and days of the week. If you see your name on here, call me and buy a lottery ticket because that'd be super strange. Um, interesting. Not sure why that just happened. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're playing with some data here. It did a good job. It messed up the download file, but if I wanted to, we could go back. I've had it do that. Let's just ask it again. Let's say I need you to make the .csv file so that I can download it. Thanks. Let's see what goes on here. Let's just see if it does it. If it doesn't do it, I'm not going to sweat it too much. I wanted to show you how you can download a file. And honestly, sometimes the O1 version of the GPT is a little goofier with downloads. It's going to try to probably just produce some code or something. So we might want to actually prefer to use 4.0 for this one. This just takes a lot longer too, probably unnecessarily. Below is a link, except not really. So that's okay. Let's write over that prompt just so I can show you again how to do that. So you can go here and edit the message. And we're going to rewrite this with a next. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen. We're going to get into some formulas. So let me show you what I got here. What I want to do is let's break this prompt down. Now I will be reorganizing the list based on first names. Okay, but I need to list them in a very specific order based on the global latitude of their hometowns, starting with the farthest northern hometown and ending with the farthest southern hometown. To do this, I need you to create a formula that takes each first name from column A and analyzes it against the latitude of the relevant hometown for that row. The formula then needs to generate the output of the latitude sorted first names listed in the new column I'll be using, which will be column G. So I'm going to use column G. I got to remember that. Be sure to ask me if you have any questions about the task. I oftentimes put that in here as part of the prompt, though it normally doesn't, but I'm trying to prevent any error in the way I'm asking the question. So probably not a bad idea to ask it to see if, to prompt you if you have any questions, if it has any questions. You can use reputable online sources to determine the latitude of each hometown because I'm not giving it that. I want it to think and do that for me. And then if you need to first generate the latitude data and save it to column F, then let's do that as a first step, followed by the remainder of the task as a second step. Just let me know if that's required. So I wanted to give it an out, if it needed to actually put that data somewhere and store that data in the table, let's do that, but as an added step. And I wanted to name which column to give it, so column F. That would be fine. But let's see. Let's put this in here. So and see what it gives us. I have no idea really what it's going to. It's a lot of information here with a lot of calculating. Let's just see what happens. And if it doesn't get it right, we can go back and maybe ask it do you know what I'm trying to ask for? How would you clarify the prompt? Because sometimes it'll be able to prompt something more accurately than we could. I'm organizing the list of hometowns from furthest north to furthest south, analyzing each latitude to sort towns in their relative position. So it's seemingly off to a good start. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Playing the list of latitudes, placing San Francisco, finalizing the order, refining the solution, utilizing Excel, mapping out the use of Excel formulas to generate latitude sorted first names. Interesting. Let's just see what it's going to give us. I see two main steps. Generate each hometown latitude in column F. Okay, it took my offer on that. Use those latitudes to sort the first names in column G from the farthest north to the farthest south. Before we build any formulas, please let me know. Do you prefer to store each hometown latitude via a lookup table, which is more maintainable, or would you rather embed all latitude values in a single nested if formula? I don't really know. Do you prefer to store each hometown's latitude? Yeah, let's do A. Let's try A. Let's try, and instead of retyping it, let's just do this. Let's just copy this and say, I prefer to store each hometown in a lookup table. Yep, let's see what happens. We could be getting like pretty highly out of our league here pretty quick, but I wanted to start with something really challenging just to see. Like I feel like we're making progress, but I don't know yet, and this could have been too big of an ask. We could have broken this down into smaller chunks. We could have said like, hey, here's the list of hometowns. Tell us what latitude each is at, and we could have put that in column F. And we could still go back and do that. But let's just see. Below is one way to store latitudes in a lookup table J through K, and then sort the names A based on those latitudes, column F in descending order. Okay, let's see. It's going to give us some steps here. Step 1, create the lookup table for latitudes. In column J1, I'm just going to slide this over a little bit so we have more space. Column J1, hometown. Let's do what it says. Let's just like actually follow the instructions. So we're going to go to J1, Hij. We're going to say hometown. In K1, we're going to say latitude. Okay, starting from row 2 through row 21 in J and K, enter each hometown and its latitude shown below. Okay, let's copy that. And then let's bust that into here. And I'm just hoping. And okay, so all right, we needed to delete this guy, and then let's just move this whole list. And we also didn't want the number, so let me undo this because what I think what we need to do is let's paste values only, and then let's separate text to columns, and that way we can get rid of these, get rid of the numbers because the numbers are going to be annoying. I don't think it wanted us to have the numbers. So we're going to delete the numbers, and then we're going to delete these guys, and we're going to take this whole mess of stuff here and cut it and paste it into here. Boom. Okay, so now we got hometowns with their appropriate latitudes from, I don't know if they're ordered, I guess, yet or not. No, they don't look like they're in any particular, they look like they're in maybe, yeah, I don't know what order. Anyway, but maybe hopefully those are all the right latitudes. I mean, can we like litmus test this? Portland should be pretty high up there. I don't know if anybody knows if the higher number is more further north. Well, here's a pretty low number, Miami. That's got to be pretty down there. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, quick pass. Looks like these are ordered in some kind of manner. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. Adjust if there are any spelling differences you prefer, or if you prefer different latitudes. Well, why would I prefer different latitudes? If you got it right, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, step 2, populate latitudes in column F. In your main data table, column C holds the hometown. Is that right? Yep, U.S. hometown. Boom. And let's make this. Let's bring this stuff a little tighter here so we can see everything on the screen. Okay, so can't quite see everything on the screen yet, but let's zip these things up a little bit. There's a faster way to do this by selecting all the columns, but okay, we're getting close to seeing everything on the screen. Okay, so in F2, in your main columns, in F2, assuming row 2 is your first data row, enter the following lookup. Okay, so here's a lookup formula. So we're going to copy this lookup formula over here. Copied it, right? Then I'm going to go to F2, and I'm going to paste this formula in here. It's a VLOOKUP formula, which if you don't need to know anything about it. That's the nice thing about ChatGPT is that you can just literally talk about in words what you want it to do, and then it'll create a formula for you in that you didn't know maybe even existed. Okay, so it's going to look up basically what this is doing. It's going to look up this search term in our list of hometowns over here, and when it finds the right one, it's going to drop the latitude, I believe, in there. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit enter. And it put Miami as 25, and we can double check this. And then it's saying you can autofill. We do want to autofill the rest of the cells, so we'll do that. Okay, boom. So now I'm going to make this bigger here. Okay, let's just double check here. So now let's pick one and say Seattle was 47. And we'll find Seattle over here. Seattle is 47. So looks like for the most part, it's getting it right. But we wanted to sort it from like north to south. So I guess one we could, we could actually just do that on our own if we wanted to do a sort. But let's just see what it tells us to do. So drag and drop. Now sort by first names, column A. Okay. Um, two approaches when we can use the sort function. Let's see. So let's go to G2 and let's put this thing, enter this formula into G2. So let's copy it. This will be pretty spectacular if this works, folks. So we're going to go in here and we're going to say paste. Okay, and enter. And so now it just listed the names. Let's see if it listed the names. What did we ask for? From north to south? Okay, so let's see. Oh, my bad. I did want to extend that down. We can just do it this way. Boom. Okay, so Christopher, so Michael, is Michael the furthest north? Well, where's Michael? Michael is here. Michael's in Seattle, and Seattle is 47.6. And so Michael is pretty high up there. Let's see where Andrew is. Andrew, we're looking over here in column A for Andrew. Here's Andrew. Andrew's in Detroit. So Detroit is lower than Seattle, probably. Let's go find Joshua. Joshua is here in Charlotte, which is lower than Detroit. So yeah, I think we asked it to give a list of names in column G that is descending from latitude north to south. And it did it. It provided us the actual steps to do that. So that's pretty darn amazing. Now, I wanted to do something else. We're going to keep getting potentially more and more complicated here. Let's see what it does with this. So I am going to scroll down and say, yeah, more questions, more formulas. Heck yeah, we do. I need another formula now in column I. Do we use column I? No, not yet. I have a list of certain, in column I have a list of certain days of the week. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to say column I. We're going to say Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. This could be like a list of like preferred times to meet this person or something. I don't know, just making up some names. In column I have a list of certain days of the week. I need you to search column E, which is favorite day. And if you find a match to any day of one of the days I have listed in column I, then return the phrase bingo for that relevant entry in the cell in column H. Sorry, I need to just reduce that. Okay, so it's going to put bingo in column H if it finds a match the day of the week. Okay. And then I need to be able to drag that formula down the column H so that it will apply to each of the rows of data in my sheet. For instance, for instances where there's not a match, I want you to put the phrase frowny face for that relevant entry. Otherwise, sometimes it just returns an error for those, and I don't like the way that looks. So let's see what it can come up with. So what we're trying to do is match we're trying to like put a bingo next to the name of the person who has a match with any of these 3 days from column I. Okay, so it's coming up with the formula. Here's a straightforward way, a count if. Okay, let's do a count if. Let's try that. So we'll copy this code. We're going to put it into, where did we say we were doing this? H, column H. Yeah. And we're going to double click on that and we're going to paste the formula in here. And we'll hit this and let's autofill. Boom. And it was going off of the original person's name here. So remember, this list here was just like artificially made. Column G was artificially made based on rank order of latitude. So we're still going off of the names over here. And we've got, okay, so the date we picked Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday is showing up here, so that doesn't look right. Tuesday is a frowny face. Wednesday is a bingo. Saturday's a bingo. Oh, because it might not be counting cell 1. Let's do this. Let's drag this down and see if this changes to bingo now. I I3. It needs to be I2 through I4. Now it's a bingo, and now we need to actually redo this, drag this down for the others to redo it. Now let's see if that's right. Monday's a bingo, Wednesday's a bingo, Saturday's a bingo, Monday's a bingo, Wednesday's a bingo, Monday's a bingo, Saturday's a bingo, Monday's a bingo. So there we go. So it gave us a formula. We just needed to move the days down because it's not counting row 1. So we needed to move those days down. Cool. Let's keep doing more stuff. Now I need another formula. Let's put it down into the GPT chat here. Now I need another formula that I will use starting with row 2, column J. Let me just slide over. So we already used up J for this lookup table. So I'm actually going to insert a column to the left, which should preserve our formulas. Okay, column J. With that starting point in mind, I need you to sort the list of first names from column. That's supposed to say column. Column A in alphabetical order based on the last character of the first name. So it's going to, what I wanted to do is use the last character of the first name in column A. So going back over to column A over here, I want it to sort it in alphabetical order based on the last character in the name. So for example, Emily with a Y on the end should be pretty near the end. Also Ashley, but Anna should be pretty near the beginning. So let's see how it can do that. I mean, these are tasks where if you had to come up with this on your own out of a list of like, let's say you had a database of like 1,000 names, it'd be really, really tedious to like manually sort that for sure. So single cell formula, no helper column needed. That's good. We don't want a helper column. So J2, enter the formula. Let's just try this. So we're going to go over to J2 and we're going to put the formula in. And paste that formula in. Let's see what happens here. Jessica. Why is it listing so many? Weird. That does not look right. So maybe that's not the preferred way to do it. How it works. Gives you a little explainer. Option 2, helper column method. In cell K2, let's put another column over here. Insert one column to the left. Let's do this. K2, let's do this. Let's try this method. I mean, normally if I had more time, I would like actually really read through and try to understand it. Oh, here it's just pulling the last letter. Okay, and then in J2, we want to use this code. But first I want to just delete this proper and then drop that code in there. Huh. Small has no valid input data. I don't know what that means. And we're getting errors. So something goofy about this one not working, but I was mildly impressed that maybe it was pulling the last letter. Let's just see if that was even right. John ends in N. Yeah, I think it was actually pulling the last letter. Let me move this. Let me make this bigger and we can actually see. Possibly. It's reaching the maximum capacity. Okay, boom. So ends in N, ends in Y, ends in D. So I got some of it right. Ends in H. So now we would basically, what we could do if we wanted is just basically sort this whole thing by column K. We could go to Tool, Data, Sort Range, Advanced. Data has header row. But in this case, we're going to sort by column K. Z to A, or A to Z. We'll do A to Z. Sort that. So now it has Jessica, Victoria, Mia. Yeah, so we just sorted it basically, yeah, by last initial. Okay, that's gonna be. We're gonna run out of time. I had another crazy task to ask it to do, but I think you're getting a sense of how you can really use this to help you with really advanced tasks within Google Sheets. So we'll wrap it up right there, and we'll do 2 more sections coming up. So don't miss those.